What is the definition of success? So what are you striving to achieve and why? Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded. So Stephen Lee from Logic Resourcing.
That's the one.
Okay, and we're going to talk about recruitment, which is about the most important thing that you can talk about in business, surely.
Yeah, is it? Right.
Steve and Lee from Logic Resourcing, and they're good at recruiting.
What is this? Right.
Right, ready.
What piece of advice would you give, whether it be to a new manager or somebody who is running their business and is looking to grow? What would be the number one piece of advice that you would give them to recruit effectively?
I think you've got to think about your company and your offering. What most people do is treat it as quite a transactional process. And actually, before you even go out, define what it is that you're looking for, define what the candidate looks like, define what candidate fits your culture. Actually, it never has been more prevalent than in this time. Think about what your offering is. You know, a candidate sitting at the desk 9 till 6, Monday to Friday, with no perks, is not that attractive as a role. And actually what we're finding now is that many candidates, or candidates that are good, will have multiple opportunities, and your proposition has to be a good proposition to help to tip that candidate, you know, over the edge to join your business. So if you're a forward-thinking business that wants to recruit the best talent on the market, you have to be bold in how you I suppose, attract and then want to retain that talent, because we all get, you know, I think candidates have never been more accessible. You know, we're all on social platforms, we can all be targeted in a certain way. So most candidates, and you know, specifically in sectors like digital, will get hit up every day by an employer. Mm-hmm. And if you've not upfront defined what will make your company a great place to work, what is it that you want your new candidate or new prospective employee to kind of feel a part of, then it's probably not going to work, you know, through your interview process, because they'll go to another company that may give them a better feeling. You know, people still love to grill people during an interview, and an interview should be a two-way process, you know, so think about all of those kind of bits.
And there's no way about it. My advice would be to get recruitment right, it just takes time. There's no shortcuts, there's no quickly paste the job description on Indeed and then let's review in the morning. Good recruitment takes time. Sometimes the best candidates on the market, or the best candidates out there, are not even looking, they're not accessible. Your, you know, quick approach to recruitment won't reach those candidates, and then if the process isn't right all the way through and thorough, you risk bringing somebody on board who's not right, and then you know, that can cause its own issues as well.
And hence one of, you know, a huge benefit in engaging with a business like yours.
I think a lot of people take the knee-jerk reaction, don't they, to recruitment. So somebody's left, I've got a gap to fill, I need to fill it within a week because I've got a handover period. And like Lee says, the key thing is you want the best person for your job, not the first person that comes along. And there's a fine line, because then some companies can tweak it out, and then they've missed the best person that's been offered. You know, you've got to know what it is that you want. But I think ultimately you've got to want to do a thorough recruitment process, otherwise you won't get the best
And we
results.
get asked that a lot, don't we? How quick can you get me CVs? And it's, well, I could get you CVs tomorrow, but that's all it would be. It would be a pile of CVs. But really, you don't want to pay us just to send CVs forward. You're paying us for our recruitment expertise, ability.
This is why you are awesome at what you do, and it's you know, and I know it's you know, I've known you long enough now to know it's genuine to the core. A couple of things that you just said, and I just think are just A's points. Culture. Because I would say the biggest mistake I've made in recruiting is actually recruiting a genius, right? Who was utterly, culturally the worst fit that you could possibly imagine. Thought could manage the talented runaway train, and it was just a nightmare. Of course, carnage. And then the other point you mentioned about two-way stuff. I always think even now, I class it's quite old school, but the amount of times that I hear and see people, and they don't see it as a two-way process. The people that are recruiting and the best candidates are looking at at the business to say, well, is this a business that actually is going to provide for what I want? And you know, it's amazing, isn't it, how those things can get overlooked.
And any candidate considering their career, they're the thoughts they're going to be having, aren't they? If you see it as a job, you might accept any old job because, oh, you know, it pays 500 quid more than the current job. But if you're looking for a long-term career, you're dead right. You're going to be going in there and thinking, right, how's this guy? Is my potential manager? Am I going to get on with him? Does he fill me with confidence? Is he somebody that could inspire me? And unless, you know, it's a two-way process, then, you know, especially at the moment where, you know, great candidates are harder to find than ever and got more job offers on the table, it's massively important.
I think we were taught early doors as well, you know, it's the really simple little things that you don't even think about, but when a candidate comes into the room, you know, how do you greet them? You know, how is your desk set up? If you set it up as a boardroom style, you've already got an automatic barrier between you and the candidate. You know, can it be conducted in a more social space? Can it be conducted in a place that makes more candidate and interviewer more at ease? So there's loads of little kind of refinements that can be made to your process that ultimately they talk to a candidate about who you are as an employer and what you do. You know, if you're atypical and traditional in the way that you do things, that's only the impression that the candidate will get come the end of it. And like Lee said, the really important point is that then it becomes, well, actually, do I want to spend my next 5 years here, 10 years here? It becomes a question instead of, do you know what, I could take this for 6 months and then go and look for something else because it pays 500 more. But actually, you want the people that want to see it as a long-term relationship.
When you go out with your clients on socials, do you abuse them in the toilet like you did me?
We have special methods for you, mate.
Let's just have a bit of a laugh with it and see where it goes. Be open-minded.
I asked him what he had for his tea. He looked at me kind of confused. You know. Sort of like meat.
Meat? Sorry, he went, I don't know if Jason knows the difference between meat, because he
all meat is meat and all veg is potato.
Like a caveman.
Like Neanderthal.